Hello and welcome to our MedPro live series. My name is Malini Rupchan and I am the NCLEX team lead here at MedPro International. My role is to oversee the NCLEX review program and prepare you for passing your NCLEX exam once you get to the United States.
Hi, my name is Raquela Watson. I'm your licensure and credentialing specialist for the West region. My job here is to get you prepared and ready for your to test for your NCLEX exam.
Hi, my name is Jennifer Bellew. I'm the Senior Manager of International Operations. I oversee the licensure and NCLEX team to make sure that you have a successful journey through your NCLEX program.
All right, first question. How is your state board chosen?
Okay, so your state board is chosen by your school documents, basically. So this is why we ask you to submit your documents from the beginning. We'll review your transcripts to see which state board fits best for your academic charts. And then we also go by your review. So if you are moving through in your review at the pace that you should, there are certain state boards that can process your documents much faster. So you can be with one of those state boards if you are staying on track with your review.
I also want to mention that there are some states that are very friendly to work with our foreign educated professionals, and so we know what those state boards are, and we direct you and guide you through that process in order for you to have a successful time through your application process with the state boards.
How long is the review program?
So the review program at MedPro-U is a part of MedPro International. So this is our university, so to speak. This is how we do all of our training for nurses that are international. And it's about 6 months. If you stay on track and you get your work done on time, it could take about 6 months. However, Raquela had mentioned she will mention with credentialing and licensure, that could take a little bit more time. So you progress through the program while you're working with Raquela and the other members of our credentialing team. You're doing two things at once to help getting you prepared to take your NCLEX exam and get licensed here in the United States.
How many classes are in the program and how long is each class?
So there's 4 classes that are in the NCLEX review program, and these courses that we have are based on the NCLEX test plan. So if you were to go on to NCSBN and you look at the test plan, you see the 4 main areas that we cover. It's physiologic integrity, which we call PI. There's health promotion and maintenance, which is HPM. There's SECE, which is what is SECE? Safe and effective care environment. And then there's psych. So these 4 classes that we have, depending on your specific class, if you're in psych, it's a 3-week long class. If you're in HPM, that class is also 3 weeks. For SECE, it's 4. And then PI, which is the largest class we have, is 5 weeks long. So it just depends on the individual class. And like I said before, how long you take to get through the courses is based on, your dedication, your motivation. It's very important to stay focused, which I went off focus a little while ago, but just to stay focused on what you need to do when you get into the review program. We help you.
And that's why we use a lot of abbreviations,
Yes.
because there are long titles. So
They're long.
if you're ever confused about an abbreviation we use, please don't hesitate to ask us and we'll definitely clarify that for you.
Yes.
I also want to mention that we're here to answer any questions that you have. So please reach out, type it in the comments box, and ask your questions. If it's case specific, we'll direct you to ask us through email at a later date. But if you have a general question you'd like us to answer for you, please reach out and ask so that we make sure that we answer all the pertinent questions you have.
All right, next question. This is from the chat. How long does it take to be in the USA after passing the NCLEX?
I'll take that one. So after you've passed your NCLEX exam, then our goal is to get your case filed. And we're going to have a whole separate series all about immigration, so I won't get into too many details here. You can definitely save those questions for our immigration segment that'll be coming later on in the next couple of weeks. But our goal after you pass your NCLEX exam is to file your case through USCIS. And that has some approximate times. So whether your case is filed regular processing or premium processing can depend on the time length. We can see answers as quick as a few weeks' time up to a few months' time. So, and it really depends on the volume of cases received by USCIS and their processing times. So our goal is to do everything we can to help move your case along as quickly and as effectively as possible.
What are the required documents for your CES report?
So the required documents for your CES report is going to be your school documents, which again is your charts, your transcripts, your course descriptions, your diploma. Also for your license verification, you're going to need to submit your license certification from your nursing council. So we've noticed that some documents coming in are like higher diplomas. We prefer for just your registered diploma, registered nursing diploma, or your bachelor's of science nursing diploma. Higher diplomas are looked upon very, like, we love it to see it. It's very nice to see, but we really need your registered nursing diploma or your bachelor's of science nursing diploma.
All right. Am I able to work while I'm in the program?
So definitely, our entire review program is done online since all of our nurses from our all around the world. So we're not able to do face-to-face teaching. So all of our education is done online. You're able to work full time and you're able to attend your courses. If you can't attend live, you can watch recordings that your instructors will record all the lectures. And you're able to do it that way. So it's very convenient. We know the students that we have are all busy working people. You have your jobs, your family lives, and everything else going on. So we do make it convenient for you, and you are able to work.
Remember, we want to answer all your questions that you have specifically to the NCLEX program, the NCLEX review, and your licensing and credentialing. So please reach out to us with those questions so that we can answer them for you today.
All right. What are the companies we use for a CES report?
So the companies that we use for a CES report is JSA, Joseph, Sylvian and Associates, and then CGFNS. So these companies work really good with our foreign graduates, so we love to use JSA and CGFNS.
Will MedPro provide my study material or do I purchase my own?
So that question could be answered in both ways. So MedPro does cover the content that you're going to be learning here in the US. However, because the program, as I mentioned, is 6 months long, and your nursing program is 3 years, it's impossible to cover everything in the 6 months time frame. So what we do suggest is if you have a nursing source that you like to use, just make sure it's based here in the US because the exam is a US licensure exam. You are able to purchase your own, but MedPro will provide the ebooks and the content, the quizzes, the assessments, all of that is provided from us online. If there's test material, we do provide a test bank for you once you finish the program that you can continue practicing with. But your instructors will also give you, some good recommendations on sites that are credible and that we use here in the United States. Because even though it's nursing, there are going to be different policies and protocols that are used here in the US, and the NCLEX exam is going to test you based on that. Versus the country that you live in. So it could be both. You can purchase your own, but we also are going to prepare you and provide what you need here at MedPro.
All right. How about?
We also use an online learning platform that Mindy could speak a little bit about.
Sure.
And it really explained to you guys the importance of, good internet connection and all of those things so that we're able to. So Mindy, if you want to talk a little bit about our online.
Sure. So we use a program called Canvas, and Canvas is used throughout the world. It's not just here at MedPro. There's different programs that utilize it. It's utilized through elementary school up to college and university. It's an online program that we're able to upload videos and content, like I said, assessments and quizzes, and we do all of our teaching on that platform. So you're able to access it with a good device from anywhere in the world. We do suggest that, we do have an app for Canvas. However, our suggestion as instructors is that you have a good device that you're able to sit, I got a computer, and you're able to download the information so everything gets downloaded properly, and that it doesn't just restart in the middle of a quiz, for example. So good internet connection is very important, especially when you're coming from all different places around the world. And we are accessible that way through Canvas. And you learn a lot more about that through the review program. We have IT that's available to help. And I explain more of that during the orientation process at MedPro once you begin.
All right. How about for medical technologists? Do you have a similar program for nurses or as nurses?
So for medical technologists, you could reach out because you will need to take the ASCPI exam. So you can reach out to us. We don't have the same type of review program that we do for the nursing, just because it's a bit of a different exam process. But please do reach out to us and we'll guide you through those steps in order to get you to successfully take and pass ASCPI.
It is very difficult to travel for NCLEX currently. Any recommendations on where to go for the exam?
Both of us can take that one.
Yeah, you are very right. It is very challenging right now in the COVID world we're living in. And travel, there are many travel restrictions. There are specific countries, and I'll let Raquela talk a little bit about that, of where we send our, NCLEX testers to. It's really going to be based on your region and where you're located in. That we try to find and match you with the closest testing center, and especially that has availability. Currently there are limitations because of the number of testers that centers will allow, and countries with certain restrictions as far as travel. So I'll let Raquela talk a little bit about some of the testing centers that we currently use right now throughout the world.
So a few testing centers that we use are South Africa, we use India, we use the Philippines, we use the United States. Those are just a few. And so with those countries right now, they are restricted. South Africa has been open and we are able to get a few of our testers out that way. But unfortunately, India and the Philippines are still under restrictions. United States, we are open as well, but it goes into more of like the tourist visa process, the documents and the restrictions that are in place for that process. So we would have to just go country by country, but right now there are a lot of restrictions, unfortunately.
How much are you going to charge for the NCLEX review program?
So there's no charge to you once you're enrolled. You've signed your contract with MedPro. MedPro will be covering your review costs. We ask that you be dedicated and committed to the program and continue in the review so that we then get you to the point that we can test you. We'll also take care of all the documentation, credential services, and state licensure that you'll need. And that's all outlined through the agreement that you sign with us, the employment and training agreement with MedPro. So you can read more details there as to what's provided by MedPro.
Will a background be required for all state boards?
So we use 6 state boards at this time, and out of the 6 state boards, 5 state boards do require background reports. This is done by fingerprint cards. So we do have colleagues that send out fingerprint cards to you, and then you just go to your local police station or your embassy, get those fingerprint cards completed. We do attach instructions on how to get those finger cards completed correctly, and then you just send them to our local office in Florida where we do process and pay for them on your behalf. One state board that does not require fingerprint cards is the New York State Board, but the other 5 do require fingerprint cards.
What are the requirements for an approval by a state board?
The requirements for approval by a state board is going to be your CS report, which is the validation of your license and your education. Another requirement is going to be your application with that state board. And then another one is the background with the fingerprint cards, as we just spoke about, is the requirements for your state board approval.
We encourage you to ask any more questions you have about the NCLEX program or your licensing and credentialing.
What is your advice for someone who failed NCLEX for the first time? Although I am a great nurse and I know it for sure.
I'll let Mindy take
Yeah,
that
I'll
one.
take that one. So failing the NCLEX exam doesn't make you not a great nurse. There's lots of reasons why students, especially now with COVID and on the stress that they're under, may not do as well on the NCLEX exam. So my advice is what I tell all my students: stay focused, stay committed. Understand that even though you didn't pass the NCLEX exam, think of it like this: you've experienced it psychologically, you know what to expect. So the next time you take it, all you have to worry about is actually taking the exam, the content, the strategies about how to answer the questions, and you don't have to worry about the psychological part. So, and I work with students throughout the entire review. I have worked with students that are in remediation, that have not passed the NCLEX, and that go back for a second time, and they are successful. So I would say do not give up hope. Keep practicing. It's not a reflection on you as a nurse. The exam is a challenging exam. It requires a lot of dedication, patience from you, from the instructors, to get through and make sure that you understand. Another important thing I tell students is always reach out to your instructors. Don't wait until it becomes so overwhelming and you just get to a point where you don't know what to do. If you're having issues with certain areas, focus on those areas. Let us know what's happening. Remember, we can't see you. So it's not like in class where I can look at your face and you have a question on it and I can ask, do you understand? If you don't reach out and tell me something, or the other instructors, we don't know. So we're always encouraging you. You get emails from me all the time, reminding you about preparation, staying committed, reaching out, and we offer a lot of interactive education. We've implemented a lot of new things in our program. And we have, for me, I've been doing weekly discussions with students just to make sure that you stay active, you keep preparing, you keep practicing. And a lot of it is just, psychological. You have to walk into that exam knowing that you're going to pass it. That's all that needs to be in your mind. So definitely, it's not a reflection on you as a nurse. It just means that, you know what, you're going to try again and you're going to get through it the second time.
And just to back up what Mindy said, if you don't feel comfortable at the time when you're getting ready to be scheduled for your NCLEX exam, that's the time to reach out to us, to your instructors, to Mindy for that extra guidance or support to hopefully better prepare you before you actually go take the exam.
Can Myanmar RN take NCLEX exam? If yes, what are the requirements?
Can you repeat that question?
Can Myanmar RN take NCLEX exam? If yes, what are the requirements?
I'm not sure
I mean, the requirements, I don't know if I'm answering this right, but the requirements are the same no matter where you come from, no matter what country you're from, because the exam is based, like I said, it's a US-based exam. So there's certain criteria that's required no matter what part of the world you're coming from. It would be the same across the board. With your grades, as Raquela mentioned, bringing in your transcripts, making sure that you're a licensed registered nurse. Because once you pass your NCLEX here in the U.S., you're a U.S. board, certified nurse. So whatever requirements, we have for the program would apply to anyone around the world.
Yes, the main thing that Mindy did mention, which is, as long as you have a registered nursing diploma or a bachelor's of science in nursing diploma, you will be perfectly fine with fitting for our program.
Any other questions? I know there's been a lot of good questions on immigration. We definitely want to answer those questions for you, and we'll hang on to them for the immigration series that'll be coming up later on. So we'll hang on to those questions for you. We encourage you to log back on when that series is out, and we'll definitely be sharing that information on our Facebook page so you'll know what our upcoming topics are in the next coming weeks. So please reach out to us then, but we'll definitely address any immigration specific topics during that session for you.
And if there's any questions as well about the review, I know a lot of times in orientation especially, students are always asking questions about, getting through the NCLEX. What if I don't pass the NCLEX exam? What happens to me? Am I out of the program? Things like that. So as I mentioned previously about remediation, we do look at, as Rakila mentioned, transcripts are very important. So we have a lot of information that we look at to make sure that you're a good candidate for remediation. Were you actively participating in the program? Did you get your work done on time? Did you show effort? And then you'd qualify for remediation. So the remediation program is a 6 weeks program. You have access to, as we mentioned on campus, all the content, quizzes, tests. We do live sessions with you. We get you prepared for the NCLEX. And we've been doing a new strategy with test taking in our program. So we offer test taking strategies at the very beginning of our program. It's not at the end. You're learning it all throughout the program. Because as we've understood with the NCLEX exam, and I've been prepping students for NCLEX for years, you need to understand how to read your question and know what the question is asking you before you can answer it. So content is very important, and students always want more content, more content. But if you think about it, you're already a nurse. This is not nursing school part 2. We're not trying to put you back through nursing school. We just want to bring that information back up to the front, of your mind, and make sure that when you read your questions, you know how to answer it, you know what to look for. And strategies is about, I think, more than half of percentage of taking this NCLEX exam, especially because we deal with nurses from different parts of the world. And the way you read a question and understand a question in your part of the world is different than the way the NCLEX exam expects you to. So students have found that the test-taking strategies has been very successful with them passing the NCLEX exam, and we spend a lot of time. I think half my life is spent on strategies and making sure that you understand what you're doing on your NCLEX exam.
For sure. And we just want to make sure that you know that we're here every step of the way. No question is a crazy question or anything. We want every question that you have to be answered. We want to make sure that this whole process is very clear. Nothing that you need from us will not be done. We promise that we'll be here every step of the way.
We are, from credentialing to either the educators. I will tell you though, because of time zones, I know sometimes students get, send an email and they expect an answer immediately. Now, unless you're like me and you live on the computer or the phone, you're going to get a response within probably 20 minutes. But if you're emailing your instructor, and a lot of our instructors live in the Philippines, depending on where you live, it is a large time zone difference. So you will have to be a little patient and wait, but you will get a response from either myself or Kayla. Jennifer gets involved as well. We're able to, to answer your questions and give you the best recommendations we can for how, you should proceed in the program and what's going to be helpful for you. And as Jennifer mentioned before about reaching out if you have any hesitations, I don't wait for hesitations. I will email you a couple days before you even take the exam and tell you stop cramming and don't try to study right now. Just clear your heads and just focus on what you've done in the review, and you're going to be successful on the NCLEX exam.
Are we accepting applications for nurses?
We are. So please reach out to one of our recruiters, apply online on our website, on Facebook, and your information will go straight to our recruitment team. If you want to refer back to last week's YouTube series, you can see more information about their YouTube live and the questions answered, and check out our YouTube page and you can meet the team there.
And I want to add something to that as well, Jen. So if you are an interested nurse candidate and you want to, pursue getting your NCLEX RN here in the U.S. and you're not quite sure, still reach out. We do look at each student on an individual basis. It's not a blanket approach for everyone. So just because we have certain criteria and you feel like you may not meet all the criteria, we do look at a lot of different things and circumstances. So reach out and we'll look at your case on an individual basis as well.
Well, if we don't have any additional questions, you can check out the comment section and email us directly if there's something you thought of after our series here today. And we can also help you answer any case-specific questions you might have about how your case is being handled or processed. Anything else coming in? Well, we appreciate you guys today, and we're happy to have spent the time with you to answer some of your questions.
Take care, guys.
Thank
and
you. Hope to see you soon.
Hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.